So, hello there, parents. I've prepared a series of videos on different strategies to use to reduce the number of time that you have to lift your disabled child at home on a daily basis.
Remember that repeated lifting effort on a daily basis can put you at risk of developing musculoskeletal disorders, that is, injuries to your muscles, tendons, ligaments, and joints. If your child weighs more than 16 kilograms or 35 pounds, you risk injuries every time you lift him, even if you take all the precautions in the world by adopting good posture and forcing with your legs.
So, of course, you probably won't feel any discomfort at first when you take your child in your arms.
It is indeed very likely that your daily lifting efforts will cause micro tears in your ligament, tendons, and muscles. Because you have to make repeated efforts throughout your days to take care of your disabled child who depends on you for transfer, these little wounds never heal. Those wounds accumulate, and one day the pain appears. You have more difficulty taking care of your child, and your quality of life is reduced. Studies clearly shows that parents of children with motor disabilities are at high risk of developing musculoskeletal disorders, especially back problems. The literature reports that 8 out of 10 parents of a child with a motor disability will develop chronic back problems. So it is quite clear and known that repetitive lifting effort related to care of a child with special need are the biggest culprits of pain and limitation among parents.
So, today let's talk about the first strategy to help you reduce the frequency of your lifting efforts.
Strategy number 1, slide instead of lifting.
So sometimes it is possible to slide your child from the starting point to the finishing point instead of picking him up to move him. So today I present you some examples of situations where it is possible to slide your child rather than lift him. My goal is to introduce you to the concept of sliding. So don't worry, I will come back to you with more details on the techniques covered today in future videos.
I invite you to subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified when I publish new content. Don't forget to like my video to support my channel. Using a rolling stool to slide.
So when your child is small enough to sit on your laps, it may be possible to slide him to transfer him instead of lifting him in your arms.
In this video, you watch me transfer the little girl from her stroller to her walker. This transfer puts a lot of strain on my back and joints, since I not only have to make an effort to lift her, but also adopt a poor posture with a hunched back during my lifting efforts. In this other example, I do the exact same transfer to the walker, but this time using a rolling stool. This second method is less risky for my back. Using a rolling stool can be useful not only for transfer to a walker, but also for transfer to different equipment such as tenders, specialized chair, tricycle.
So using a rolling stool for certain transfers could greatly help reduce strain on your back and other joints. However, you must do this the right way to see the benefits.
Since those techniques are used in a seated position, it is essential to respect the principles of a good seated posture to avoid injuries. I remind you that our spine is in a vulnerable position when we find ourselves in a sitting position.
It is important not to improvise sliding techniques because you could risk injury. I assure you that I will come back to you with the details about these techniques, which carry out under certain conditions can be a great use to you in reducing your physical effort.
Slide your child to move him in bed.
So when your child is lying in bed, it may be a good idea to slide your child on the mattress instead of lifting him in your arms.
In this video, I move the boy closer to me to the edge of the bed by lifting him. This action requires me to adopt poor posture and work at arm's length. In this other video, I make the same movement, but this time using the bed pad the boy is lying on. This way of doing is much less physical demanding and less risky for my back and shoulders.
So using a sliding bed pad in your child's bed could greatly facilitate your child's care.
Note, however, that the bed pad must have a smooth and slippery surface to be useful during the transfer. A standard bed pad will not help you to move your child.
There is, in fact, a friction phenomenon when your child slides on the surface of his bed. So there are a lot of work tools well known in hospital environments which could allow you to mobilize your child by sliding him rather than lifting him.
A large bed pad can also act as an extension to help you adopt a better posture rather than finding yourself at arm's length with poor posture.
However, these tools must be used with vigilance and respecting certain rules for your safety and the safety of your child.
Sliding bed pads, sliding sheets, and sliding tube could greatly facilitate your task when caring for your child in bed.
I will come back to you soon with a more detailed video on the safe use of sliding surface in bed with a purchasing guide for these type of equipment too. So my goal today was to make you realize that some of your child's lifts, if you have the right tools at home, can be replaced by slides. So watch for my next video to learn more about strategies to reduce the number of times you have to lift your child on a daily basis for the sake of your back.
Subscribe to my YouTube channel to be notified when new content is published. I also invite you to consult my website ensantepourtoi.com, where you will find lots of articles on ways to make your life as a parent of a child with special needs easier on a daily basis.